Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So, I'm Nikki, and today I have Reese and B with me, and we are going to be doing a recap of Love After Lockup. So, this is season 4, episode 35, and the name of this episode was Felons for Life. Right. All right, so I guess we'll just jump right on in. We'll start off with the first couple, Justine and Michael. All right. So um when we see them, this is the next day after, Justine and Michael's mom had gotten into it. And so I will say on this episode, I did like seeing that the men were making a lot of breakfast this episode. I do like to see men, doing their part around it. So Michael, it looked like he had made them breakfast, and him and Justine they talked, which was nice to see them, talk it out. She even agreed that she would apologize to his mom if she apologizes to her. Which I felt like that was a good compromise. But I did like how, he's trying to smooth things over between the two of them. And so something else I've noticed about Justine and Michael, they stay matching. Every episode they are matching. I'll give them that. Alrighty. And so they actually end up going to meet up with his friend slash manager, whatever, Mocha. And so Mocha, he says that, he feels like Michael has potential to make it as a rapper. He goes by Montana Mills. And so he tells them that he thinks it'll be best if Michael and his wife relocate to Las Vegas. And that he also should take his ring off. That'll help his career as well. Justine doesn't like that. She doesn't want him to take the ring off. And we also see Michael actually, you know, rapping a little bit because he tells Mocha he wants to show him, what he's been working on and what he's been doing since he was locked up. And so they go into a cigar room and he raps for him. Mocha seems impressed by it, which is good. All right, and that was pretty much it for them this week. So, any thoughts on? I was about to say Michael, Mocha, and Justine.
You go first, Risky.
Oh, okay. Not a whole lot. I understand why Justine will be annoyed by that take your ring off statement. But I do think that it's more appealing if he doesn't just be flashing that he's married. Like not seeing a ring, I guess it's more appealing for fans. But I understand her concern because I mean they are married. And I mean if she not cool with it, then I don't know how it's gonna work. Because it seems like he wants to make her happy too. But
Yeah.
overall, like I don't know. I mean, I feel like I need to hear music with his rapping. Like I mean, it sounds like he got talent, but I don't know how it all sounds put together. Like I'd have to hear the music and the rapping because sometimes it ain't all about the lyrics. You can have the most lyrical people that don't do the greatest if the beats and all that stuff ain't hitting for everybody that's listening. So um hopefully he does well and hopefully they can figure out the ring thing because I don't know. I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that either, him taking it off. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if he shows that he can be successful at it, then maybe, but I don't know. That's my thoughts on
I
it.
say the same. Um, I wouldn't feel comfortable with him taking off his ring. And two, I don't know if y'all know Toby Nwige,
Mm-mm.
one of our Houston rappers. He's
Oh, you're
still mute.
muted. Oh. Hmm.
We can't hear you, Nini.
Oh, gotta put myself on mute. So yes, I know exactly who you're talking about, B. And his wife and his kids sometimes are even in his videos. So I mean,
Yeah, like it depends on what type of image that you're trying to throw out there. But
hmm
I think that's like the best thing ever, and that's what made me like Toby Nwige even more because he put his family and everybody first. So it's like regardless if you like, you're supposed to like them, you're supposed to love them, but this is my life and my family, and
right.
for him to even ask him something like that is kind of like a big red flag. It's like, what you trying to set my husband up for to do? And then I want to see if he gonna go along with it, and if he
Yeah,
go along with it, and she got a big decision on her hands because you can make music and be married. It's a lot of
right.
rappers who do. Snoop Dogg, everybody know half these people is married, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
that is
But
very
that's
true.
that's with them. I mean, you can match
Yeah,
all day, but if you're not representing what you actually have, then everybody just gonna think that she just a main groupie.
yeah, and you make a good point because look at LL Cool J, how much of a sex symbol he is, or even Denzel Washington. You know, both of those men are well-known sex symbols, and they're both married, and we do see their wives with them. It's not a hidden thing. So,
I don't think I
Yeah,
ever seen Cool J with his wife.
really, it
yeah, I
has
Mm-mm.
see this
Simone.
too.
Yeah, her name is Simone, if I'm
Yeah,
remembering right. Mhm.
but it don't. She not. It's not somebody I remember like him being associated with his wife. Like
Even
like I know like Jay-Z and Beyonce, they
Yeah,
married.
Idris. Yeah.
Ice
But
T,
he just got remarried though. Idris.
Who?
yeah,
Ice T.
Idris. No, Ice T. Yeah,
Who are you
but
talking about? Just got
I
remarried?
think Ice T ain't really a sex
A
symbol though.
sex symbol.
well, true.
Who are you talking about? Just got remarried?
I love me some
Idris.
Ice T though.
Did he? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he hasn't been married to her for very long.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So
But I
yeah,
mean, I
I mean
think
it's
like so
possible.
for people like if somebody does appear to be a sex symbol, for instance, say The Rock, like I loved him. I was very upset when I realized he was married, but then I already was in love with him, so it was too late to stop loving him. I just didn't
Lord,
like his wife.
and he's been married a couple times, right?
He got remarried now. I think he's only been a second. He's with his second wife. She's super
I
pretty.
think it was more so for
First one
like
wasn't.
when they coming up, like you remember how they did the same thing with Michael Jackson. Don't let nobody know that you're in a relationship because you're young, and then you trying to build yourself up to that. But if
Hmm.
you already older,
Hmm.
however you want to put it, you might as
Yeah,
well let them know that you grown, you doing what you got to do, and if they love
yeah,
you,
because
they love you regardless. Because it's plenty of women who still try to get at Tobin the Wigay and all the rest of them, even though that they married. So I
Hmm.
don't think the
yeah,
ring should.
and I think like what you're saying, I think it's okay for him to show that he's established that he is married because in reality he is old to be getting into the game. So I mean, it's
It's
not
like if you
some
rap,
21-year-old.
rap it, then them relying on your face and your body is not gonna get you there
Hmm.
because you're only gonna be in there for so long.
Hmm.
That's very, very true. Well, anyways, let's jump into the next couple. Derek and Monique. Okay, so we are seeing, well, we did not get a chance to see them at the casino, but Monique definitely lets us know that they did go to the casino the previous night. And so Derek, he's letting us know he has an ankle monitor, and he's, talking to Monique about charging it. Um, and then we see them go to a bank. So Derek is opening up a bank account, all right,
Hmm.
and he has a check that he keeps mentioning that he wants to deposit in there. So while he's at the bank, um, Derek reveals to us that he saved up about $9,000 while he was in prison. He said from doing different things to, making money because he had a job while he was in prison. So he said he was able to save up that money. All right. So once they leave the bank, his sister calls, and and he tells her I couldn't hear what the sister was saying to him, but she was saying that basically that he's avoid. Well, he tells her, "I'm not avoiding you guys. I just want to spend time with people who were down for me while I was in prison." And he ends up hanging up the phone or whatever. And then the sister starts texting Monique's phone. And Derek, he's just constantly throughout this episode, because this is a continuing thing that happens throughout the show. The sister is texting Monique, being disrespectful. Um, and he's just like, ignore it, leave it alone. They're not affecting anything. We're together, la la la. But I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I probably would have went off on the sister myself. It's like, why are you playing on my phone right now? If you don't want to talk to you, you don't want to be around. It's not because of me. This is how he feels. Leave me alone. Um, and so they actually end up going to the gym. And there, Derek is showing her a few moves or what I don't know what do you call that when you're in the gym. He's showing her some things that she can do. And Monique mentions that she should move to where he is. And he's like, he doesn't think that's a good idea for her, especially with his current situation and the way his sisters are behaving. It'd be better if she waited until he got his own place. And then Derek's sister starts up again. So apparently she posts some pictures on Instagram, and like one of the captions Monique shows us, it says, "Where the bad bitches at? My brother just got out of prison." And Monique gets upset, which I feel like as she should. But I think she's more so getting upset because she's not really going off on those sisters what she wants to. And I think if Derek just lets her go off one good time, get it off her chest, maybe it won't bother her so much. And him and her, they end up arguing about it. He tells her he wants to go see his grandma, so she drives him to his grandma's house. Once he gets there, she's not there. Then one of Derek's cousins calls Monique's phone and tells her she thinks that Derek really needs to see his grandmother. It's he needs to see her now rather than later. All right. And so they while I'm trying to think. For some reason, Derek was not in the car, and the sister starts calling again. She's threatening Monique. They're cussing, calling her names and stuff. And so then they leave the house and they go to another location so that Derek can go see his grandmother. And so while Derek is inside with the grandmother, police are riding by, and Monique is still getting calls. And so finally, Derek comes back to the car. We see producers are in the car, and I think they're a little disheveled because like one of the producers or the cameraman or whatever is in the front seat, and is they're trying to get them out of there quickly. So Derek is like in the back seat. They drive off, and then a white car starts following them. They try to pull into a gas station, but they pull into the gas station. The white car pulls in, and then the episode ends with them. They're still trying to get away from this white car. All right, so thoughts on Derek and Monique this week?
First of all, the sisters need to chill out. I don't know if that's them, that the sisters that's harassing them or following them. It probably is, but I feel like he can't expect her to keep ignoring that, because if somebody keep calling my phone like that, cussing me out,
Yeah,
being disrespectful, she already had a moment where she broke down and cried when they were at the hotel.
right.
Um, it's like he sees this really really bothering her. So I mean, he has to. I feel like at some point just stand up and just tell the sisters, like, for real, chill out with this. Like, if you want me to get it or to keep in contact with you, or you want me to have any sort of relationship with you, you can't keep doing this. Because if he's really
Right.
trying to be with her, then he need to tell them, like, chill. Like, I want all of y'all in my life, but the disrespect got to stop, because like the girl ain't doing nothing to them. They just don't like how she look, and I think that's just childish.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's like they just keep going and going in, going in. I'm not saying Monique perfect, because she gotta kind of calm down too. It seems like all like the whole trip, she's just so unhappy, because I feel like she's so. And I know part of it is the sisters harassing her, so that part I don't blame her for it. But she also seems very insecure, and it's like, I don't know. You gotta like be a little bit more secure too, because showing that insecurity probably ain't doing number feeding, making the sisters feed on that if they do see it. But
Hmm.
that, and then it's like she gonna end up. I feel like showing that much insecurity can also drive him away too, because he might be
Yeah.
like, I just want somebody that's not so jealous, or somebody that's more secure in themselves. Like, if I said I'm not gonna cheat on you, I'm not gonna cheat on you. Granted, yeah, she can not believe it. I mean, that's her choice. That's, I mean, anybody's choice if you don't want to believe it. But You don't have to show that you don't believe it 24/7. But yeah, when it comes to the sisters, like I'm like, I don't blame her. I'd be ready to fight them myself because I'm like,
Oh
all they
yeah,
on the
especially when
phone is
she was
stupid.
texting her
Yeah,
the craziness. Like,
yeah. Like you just talked to your brother. Don't text me.
yeah, he said what he had to say to you. No,
Yeah.
nah.
Anything that you don't like, take it up with him. That's what I would say.
Okay, so what were your thoughts on Derek and Monique this week, B?
Uh, Derek and Monique. I still feel as if that he talking to other women. Like I believe that there was a conversation had between him and his sisters in order for them to act like that. If they knew and recognized his relationship, I can't see myself as a sister because I'm an only girl and I done had brothers that have went to jail and got out and all kind of stuff like that. You know, so it's like for the just out of nowhere, hey, my bro just got out of jail with a bad set and all this stuff like I can't see myself doing that without my brother. Like, hey, yo, I'm about to get at. We finna do.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing happened with the last episode with his friends popping up out of nowhere and all this other stuff. It's like I don't think he I don't think he want no relationship with her. Cause like if we go back to from where he went to the bank and he wanted to get a bank account, she trying to
Hmm.
help him get his ID and stuff. He slipped up and said that he was helping a friend, but when she asked about who is she, like all of a sudden the friend is a girl now. All these
Hmm.
dudes that you didn't talk about now all of a sudden it's a girl. You start stuttering and then trying to figure out a way for to fix it. And then on top of that, it's a car that's saying, "Hey, Derek," and he
Yeah,
like, "Y'all
it did sound
go
like
go
somebody
go."
said, "Hey, Derek" from that car. Yeah.
Yes, and they like, "Who is that?" Go 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 go. He ain't say nothing about who it is. I think that that's the person that he been talking to, and he just don't want to mess up, you know, his money situation right now,
Yeah.
or reliability
Yeah.
situation.
I think he knows that Monique is only going to be there for a certain period of time. I think she said 2 weeks or something like that. So he knows he just got to keep this going for at least the next 2 weeks, and he'll be good for a while.
Exactly. And it's like she already don't trust them. So why you still trying to put up with all this? And then now it's even more because the sister's involved and all this stuff. And like we said, if he really wanted that relationship with her, he would at least grab the phone one time and was like, "Hey, y'all, chill out. Cause this is my girl. This is who I'm trying to be with. You good to introduce me to people, but I'm not good enough for you to take up for.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. I don't want it." But that was
Yeah.
it. They did too much. But I think it's all him. And then the main red flag for me with him is that every time, and I get that she got insecurity and trust issues, but every time that she have them in front of him, he always get mad at her instead of the person that she letting what's bothering her.
Yeah, he's good for turning stuff. Just like the last time it was like, oh, she don't want to go out with me. Is she ashamed to be seen with me? You know that's not what it is. But here you go
Hmm.
with that reverse psychology mess is what you're
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking in that moment. When they were because like when they were in that hotel room and he saw her crying, like I was like, say something, do something in this moment. You see she's hurt. But he really wasn't doing that.
they still make me laugh at the double seatbelt thing though.
Oh yeah, that seatbelt extender. Yeah.
I
But
guess
that's
I see
that's
some of that stuff.
Huh?
There was a
huh?
double seatbelt.
Yeah, she has a seatbelt extender.
If you look at
I
the
didn't even pay
seatbelt,
attention.
it's like a seatbelt attached to the seatbelt where it
Oh.
go in.
I didn't see that. Just like I didn't hear when they said, "Hey, Derek." Guess I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pause it and rewind it back because I was like, "Wait, what they say?" And the producer, the camera people was getting in the car and they said, "Little white car," and said, "Hey, Derek." and you can
Oh.
hear that it was a female voice that said, "Hey, Derek," and they like,
Mm.
"Who is that? It's a car following us. Just go, just go." He ain't answering none of that.
It seemed like they was just driving in a circle too around the gas station. I'm like, what are they doing?
They did. They really did.
I'm like, I'm getting dizzy. Like they just either go straight or get or stop.
But how that play out?
Yeah,
Mhm. All right. Rissy, did you go with Derek and Monique? You
hmm
haven't gone yet. Okay.
I did.
All right. So the next couple was Eris and Cameron. All right. So we find out that Cameron has been taken back to the detention facility because he was at the halfway house. And so he failed a alcohol, what do you call it, the alcohol breath detector thingy. He failed that. She said 13 days before he was supposed to be released. And so we see her, she's driving to the detention facility and she's saying, she hopes he can stay out of trouble because she doesn't want to take that around her daughter. Um, And so we see her arrive, at the prison. He walks out. Of course, they hug, greet each other, and he immediately drops down to his knee and he asks her to marry him. He has a ring. He said he bought the ring before he got locked up or taken back into custody. And and she says yes, but he wants to get married right away, and that's not something that she wants to do. She wants to wait a little bit, which is understandable. And she's saying, she wants to make sure that he stays, that he's on the right path before she, goes too far in this. But I'm thinking at this point, I think you already in pretty far. Sis. These are some thoughts you probably should have had a little bit earlier. But yeah, so that was Eris and Cameron this week. They didn't really show them too much. She had on an interesting T-shirt. Did anybody else catch her T-shirt?
I ain't like that
Yeah,
with
it was
boobs.
a bit much.
Yeah,
And then I didn't notice till the very end that her shirt, it had boobs on the front
yeah,
of it, and then they had the little piercing. They had the
yeah,
piercing through the nipple.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah. I didn't
thoughts,
care for that.
yeah, thoughts on Eris and Cameron.
Um, it wasn't really a lot to him. So other than him getting back in trouble, and like she said, hopefully he stays out of trouble because she do have a little girl that if he comes to Georgia or whatever, that he's gonna be around. So hopefully he stays out of trouble. But I hope she don't just rush and get married real quick just so he can come to Georgia. Like I'm like that's too much. That's too soon. Um, unless she really want him there, I don't know because they've been dating for a while, I guess. But she ain't gonna have time to plan like no real wedding or nothing like she said she wants. Like it's gonna have to be like some old quick courthouse thing or like Gabby and them did, just get him married around the corner on the street. You know what I'm saying? In order to do it for the reasoning that he's saying, but maybe that's what she's going to do, something quick, and then have a wedding later. Because she's talking about planning and dress and makeup. She gonna be able to do all that in a couple days. So, and then yeah, that shirt. Yeah, I've seen shirts like that, but I feel like that ain't what you would go pick him up in. Like that was just weird. That thing, and then it didn't even sit in the right place. Like I'm like it was sitting like above her chest, so it made it look even weirder to me. I'm like that was ugly.
All right, B, I see you shaking your head. Was it
Yeah,
about the T-shirt or them?
that shirt most definitely was made for somebody smaller, I would think. But as far as them two, myself, I wouldn't have said yeah just yet. I mean, I get it that you engaged, and most of the time it's a time period in between for to get ready for the wedding. But if you already don't know what this man capable of, or if he gonna be able to do the right thing, and especially the fact that you already said, I don't know, I gotta make sure you're doing the right stuff before I introduce him to my daughter. Why would you say
Right.
yes? Like why? And then you're going to pick him up for already the shoes.
That shirt was tacky, right, JC? Right.
Like you picking him up again from getting in trouble off of something that was so small, 13 days, and you couldn't
Hmm.
hold
You
your
could
liquor
not,
for one.
yeah, not take a sip for 13 days. And then, like she said, in order for him to fail that, that means you didn't. That wasn't a glass of wine. You know, you was getting toe up somewhere.
Yeah.
That's speculation.
And then he was like, we can get married in a couple of hours. Well, okay, I'll give you time. I give you a day. Like, no, that marriage is gonna fail just like that test if they rushed it.
Hmm.
I couldn't see myself getting married to somebody that's so eager, to do stuff like right then, like, and she telling you, nah, I need this, I need my makeup, I need a dress, I want to have a wedding. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
she want
saying?
her people around. Yeah, so
Like you bought this ring long time ago. Is you gonna be able to afford a wedding, or what type of wedding is you talking about? Like, and then
mm,
still haven't met a child yet, right?
no, nothing.
Mm-mm. I can't even see myself getting engaged to somebody who haven't met my children yet. But that's it.
All right, so our next couple is Skylar and Nathan. All right, so it's their first morning together. Nathan has put together Skylar a breakfast that it was not very um appealing looking, to say the least about that breakfast. Alrighty, and so he reveals that he actually stole the food that he made the breakfast with. Um, she had some donuts and some oranges was part of her breakfast, and he said he stole it. They blurred where he stole it from. I can only imagine maybe it was a hotel. You know how they have the free breakfasts, so maybe he snuck into a hotel and stole it. I'm not sure. And so we see this Skylar. She meets her friend Gracie, and they go and they get their hair done. So while they're getting their hair done, Skylar is trying to call and, talk to Nathan. She calls him, texts him. He's not responding. So immediately she starts thinking about like her exes and stuff, and the fact that her exes used to do drugs, she used to do drugs, Nathan used to do drugs. So her mind goes there. All right. And so by the time they're done getting their hair done, she still hasn't heard from Nathan. So her and Gracie, they head over to Nathan's house. And so their scenes end with the two girls. They're in the house and they're walking up the stairs. And then when they get to the top of the stairs, Skylar's like, I can't remember what she said. Oh my God, or what the hell, or something like that. I'm hoping he hasn't done something. He's in there, he's used drugs or he drank too much. I'm hoping not. We had enough of that with some of these other characters we've seen on the show. I feel like Christiana and you know some of those players. But any thoughts on Skylar and Nathan this week?
Yeah, that breakfast. I'm like, he said he made her a muffin or something, and then she was like, "Is it done?" Or like, and he was like, "Yeah,
The
it's like a
muffin
jailhouse."
almost looked like sausage to me. I was
Yeah,
like, what is
he
that?
said it was like a jailhouse like style with peanut butter or something. I don't know. Either way, she was like, "Yeah, if I didn't have no other choice, I would eat it." But she like at least he did get her the other stuff, and then she was saying, "I guess if that's the least of her worries, if all he was stealing is that." But
Correct.
I don't think I want him going to stealing that stuff either, because that's like y'all can't afford no groceries at all, or like what I mean, like
That was my thought was why is he stealing oranges and donuts?
yeah, I'm like okay,
Hmm. Yeah,
so
because it's not like she's been out long enough where now he's in a bind trying to feed two people.
yeah,
That was what was weird to me.
yeah, you would think at least day one he would have food for day one,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't see what could have happened to trigger something bad. I almost was feeling like maybe he had some kind of surprise or something, and I don't know. I hope that's what it is. It's something good, not anything crazy. Because I don't see like it didn't seem like when she left, he said he felt better that day.
Hmm.
Only thing that he was upset about is her hanging out with the friend. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious to see what it is that she sees when she walked into the room. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. Hopefully
Yeah,
he actually had a surprise for her or something, and
yeah.
and that's why she was like, "Oh my gosh," because it was actually something good.
That's what she said. Oh my gosh, yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. It wasn't really enough to me to really have too much of an opinion still on them. And I did kind of understand, I guess, where she coming from. She had like two incidences, and one where the dude went to sleep, or when they went to bed and he woke up and he was dead, or he was, he had passed away. So it's like, I can see where she's getting nervous though, especially if he always answers his phone. So hopefully it's nothing bad, nothing crazy, and they're good to go. But we'll see, because they really didn't give us much to work with them this week.
Yeah, they did. Hey,
Yeah,
B.
I feel the same as Reese. Like, I honestly think, and I'm hoping that it's a surprise that he had for her, because she did say that he was excited or whatever earlier before he stopped answering the phone. But if it is, don't go all day without talking to me, and you see me
Yeah,
Hmm.
calling you and stuff, like, no. But yeah, it wasn't enough to really just have a conversation about. The hair was cute.
Hmm.
yeah. Her hair was cute. Yeah, yeah. And I totally understand her getting upset when she hadn't talked to him. Because with me, you break that pattern, then it is kind of like, huh? But you only answer my calls when you're at work. So
Hmm.
yeah, her hair was cute. What did you think about that breakfast?
The breakfast, I was like, I don't, I don't got much to say about that.
Look like she
It
gonna be
could have,
doing a lot of cooking though, if that's the case.
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
Thank you for this. But going forward, let breakfast be my thing.
yeah,
'Cause that's what I'm saying. Yeah, especially since he's running and stealing it. He's stealing it for places.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't want you to continue to do that to get me some
yeah, that part.
breakfast. All right. So the next couple we had was Travis and Ashley, which we didn't see a lot of them particularly on this episode. And so Ashley has gotten Travis a metal detector, and they're at the beach. So he's really psyched about having this metal detector. So he goes and he uses it on the beach immediately. And so she reveals that to Travis that she has gotten them a boat so that they can have like a sunset. A sunset. I don't know why I couldn't say that. So that they can have like a sunset. Oh, boat ride. And so they get on the boat, and it's weird because Ashley says that she has a secret that she's not ready to tell Travis yet. And I have a feeling it has something to do with her job or money because it seemed like each time he talked about money or being successful, it seemed like she got a little bashful, like she didn't really want to talk about that too much. Like especially when he was like, "I wonder how much this boat would cost." I can't wait for us to make our first million or whatever. It just seemed like she was a little bit bothered or didn't want to talk about
Hmm.
it. Anytime he brought up something like that. And so he showed like us all of his tattoos. It was like I guess a little bonus clip or whatever they threw in there. And so he was also telling us the meanings behind each of his tattoos. He has a bunch of tattoos on his body. So thoughts on Travis and Ashley this week?
Um, I want to know what the secret is,
Yeah.
because she didn't seem like she was having any financial or any problems. But I mean, she did mention, I guess, when they were either on the boat ride or whatever, like kind of in the confessional, she was like, she did tell him that the jewelry business wasn't doing that great, I guess. And um, but then I mean, in the show right before he got out, she's over there buying more. So it's like, if it's not doing great, why are you buying more? Because she just bought some new pieces for like right before she got him out. Because remember, that's when she was telling them that he was a bank robber,
Hmm.
and and was crying and saying, but she trusts him, and all that. So I'm just curious to see what it is she got to say. Like, maybe she's spent a lot of money, because if that's the case, then why are you buying them that metal detector and then doing an expensive? I don't know how much it was, but the boat ride, all that stuff. You don't know it's extra if you don't have the money. I wouldn't be doing all that. But if the money isn't the issue, I don't know. Because I want to see, I want to know what the secret is. Um, he did had that make the one comment talking about, which I know I'm like, it's probably we because they know that everybody's thinking like it's got to be financial. And he was like, I can't, I'm so happy that we got the money to afford everything and I'll be able to go to school and, don't have to worry about anything. And I'm like, it must be money because why are they making him put so much emphasis on how much would that house cost? How much would this boat cost? Can't wait till we can do this. Can't wait till we team up and we become this crazy, this jewelry partners, and we're just gonna do such great things and blah blah blah. I'm going to school to learn about the jewelry, and it's like okay, something obviously her secret has something to do with all that, but outside of that, um, nothing like really bad or anything. So I feel like their scenes was okay. Um, Looking past the possibility of financial issues, I thought it was cute that she gave him the little metal detector if that's something that he really enjoys doing. Like that's cool. And then the boat, I love riding boats, so I was like, that's cool. The boat ride and doing the sunset because I know it's gonna be pretty. But hopefully she tell him whatever the secret is next episode because this man is like got it set in his head of a certain lifestyle, and if that's not what it's gonna be, then she
Yeah, I
might
think he's
gonna let
bound.
him know.
Yeah, I think he's sticking around because he feels like that's a good situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think of them, B?
I think the secret is that she sold the business.
Oh, okay.
And like she trying to I'm I'm glad Sean not here.
Uh-oh.
She pulling a man move. And it's like, here, this is for your distractions. Remember we went on the boat and I got you that metal detector? Yeah. Had to sell the business, try to sweeten it and make it less painful for when she had to
Right.
tell him. That's what I think is going on.
That
But
could
other
be
than
it.
cute, they was cute. But I think she sold it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and that could be it. Yeah. She's like, look, we still living great. I just don't have the business anymore.
Yeah.
Shoot,
So
I
we don't
wouldn't
need
care.
to
I'd be like, so I ain't got to go to school. I ain't got to do nothing. We just gonna live great.
talk.
Where we going tomorrow?
For real. Like soon as he started talking about the business, she like leaned over and started crying and stuff. And I thought she was gonna tell him like right then, but of course they gotta give us the cliffhanger. But I
Mm.
think she's so
Yeah, I'd have been like, why you crying? They been
mm-hmm.
trying to go to commercial break. Bring that back. No. Why you crying? We're not putting you in this right
Yeah, hold up, no
now. We're not doing
going on.
commercial breaks right now. She gonna
Yeah,
tell me this episode. Why are you
right,
crying?
right.
Yes. But that was about it because they didn't show too much about them either.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay. So our last couple, Gabby and Chris. Okay.
Let me
Because
see.
they're the most toxic on this show. All right. And so we see Gabby did end up meeting Chris at the bus station. And it's like they just argue. They don't talk to each other. I feel like it's always arguing or talking at each other, but not to each other, if that makes sense. So, so they start walking back to her house. She's like, "Come on, let's go walking." And he's asking, like, "Where's the car?" And at first, she wouldn't answer him, which makes me believe. I wonder if she sold that car, and she don't want to tell him.
Could
Um,
have.
and so she ends up telling him, "Oh, it's getting fixed." And he's like, "Well, what's wrong with the car?" She's like, "It's getting fixed. Sometimes cars have to get fixed." And so she then turns it on him and starts asking him, like, "Where's your ring at?" She's like, he has like the whole farmer's tan where the ring was on his finger, but the ring is not there. So then he starts asking her about her ring. And he said that he threw his ring when he got mad at her. So then she says, "Well, I threw my ring." Which I'm like, I hope you're not being serious, girl, because last season or the last time she was on here, he spent quite a bit of money on that ring, if I'm remembering right. All right, and so somehow or another they start talking about who is the prize. She tells him that she's the prize. He needs to start acting better. He tells her he's the prize. And so finally they actually make it to Gabby's house, but she leaves him downstairs and outside. While she goes inside, and she does say, "Okay, you know what? I'm letting him cool down because he was disrespectful to me, and I'll let him come up in a little bit because I know I gotta let him up." So eventually she does. She yells out of her window, throws down the key, and tells him to come up. He comes up. Their little bickering continues. They don't. They never even get anywhere with their bickering too. I think that's something else. I'm kind of like I get exhausted with them because they
Mhm.
never. It never ends. It never comes to a good conclusion. And so she ends. They end their scenes with Gabby going to bed, and then Chris he went to sleep on the couch. All right. So any thoughts on Gabby and Chris this week?
I, I just don't get it. Like I don't, cause like I thought she was like upset about the cheating stuff, but she left him at the train station. Then she just walks up. So I'm like, so you really didn't leave him at the train station? You just playing games? Okay. So they leave. They walk toward the house or whatever, then they getting into their little arguments. But it's like if you're gonna call out him for his ring, have yours on. Cause to me
Mm-hmm.
it was a point of that thing. Then when she was like, um, what else did they say? I think he said something about the way she was talking to him, and then he said something about being a prize, and then she was like, "Oh no,
Yeah, because she was talking to him. She was being more disrespectful than I think he was. He
yeah,
may have had some moments, but the way she talks to him, like I
yeah,
said, it's like she talks at him. She doesn't talk to him. She talks
no,
at him.
no." And then she was like, he said he was a prize. She's like, no, she's the prize. Um, Looks wise, I guess she would be the prize, but attitude wise, I don't think neither one of
He
them
has
are
a
prizes.
terrible attitude.
Like they both, like I couldn't deal with him or her. Like they both annoy me with the way they talk and act, and you know what I'm saying, like very immature. Because even when he said, she was like, "Why'd you even come here? What is it you want?" Or he was like, he wanted, to get some. It's like you really think that's how you're gonna get some by just saying something like that? Like
Right.
that to me, like I wouldn't. He could have kept that to himself. Because I'm like that ain't do nothing but make her mad, and he knew that was gonna make her mad. I would think. Not. I
Yeah.
hope he didn't think she's gonna be like, okay, well, yeah, you can go ahead and have some. Like that's rude. And then I just don't. I don't get it. Like she made it like she done with him. She wasn't gonna go get him. Whatever. Left him outside. It's almost like she just has a game she like playing or something. Like she just like just full of games. Cause then it's like when she said he was gonna leave, then she throws the keys down. Like, cause she peeking out at him,
Yeah.
and he's looking at her. Then she stops peeking, and I guess she must have still been looking enough to see that he started walking away. Cause then he was like, "Forget it, I'm going back to New York." And then all of a sudden, she opens the window, and throws the keys, like, "Come back upstairs, Chris, come back." And it's like, what is this game y'all playing? Like, to me, it just seemed like a bunch of mess. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what else to say about them two because it just seemed like today that was just a bunch of junk. A bunch, you know what I'm saying? Like a bunch
Yeah.
of games and kiddiness. Like I was like, what is this? Like, are we looking at two high school kids or are these adults? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That mess was retarded to me. Or it was crazy. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, B. So what do you think about this toxic couple here, Chris and Gabby?
I think they are highly toxic. I'm ready. The boys walking in. I think they are highly toxic. Like they don't know how to talk to each other. Um, they're they like act like young love. How old are they? Y'all know?
I don't remember, but I know they're like in their 20s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably why.
Hmm.
I'm gonna blame it on that.
Yeah,
No
because
offense
they,
to those, but that's how most relationships are in your 20s, especially when you first start out. So I can't. I don't know. I don't even see how did they get married? Like what happened?
they got married on the side of a Greyhound station on the sidewalk.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where his mom and sister was waiting in the car for them.
I think
I
she
saw
married
something
him.
said Gabby is 29.
Oh Lord.
Chris is 33.
What?
Oh,
Gabby 29. He 33.
well, disregard everything I just said. They just
Yeah, because
out of there.
they're old enough to know better than this.
Mhm.
Yes. And it's almost like she married him for the money, so she can get everything done and stuff. But once that ran out, it's like, what I need you for? So right now,
Mhm.
you need me. Now that you out, and oh, you need somewhere to stay, and
Yeah.
you know, women don't really take to not having nothing is not sexy at all. So if she getting ready to prepare herself for to do more than you, like, yeah, she gonna talk to you crazy. That type of person, that type of woman is gonna talk to you crazy.
Yeah, I think when they were talking about the whole prize thing, the thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way is when she was like, "Look at you, look at me," something like that. She said, I don't know if you guys remember when she said that. And I'm thinking, no matter what, that's your husband now. Why would you
Mhm.
remotely tell him, "Look at you, look at me"?
Mhm.
I think both of them is cheating. Like
Yeah.
he threw his away. He was talking to other females, so she threw hers away because she already know that he talking to other females. I mean, she even got the proof on the papers that every
Mm,
number that she was calling was females. So that's another. That could be another reason too why they, go at each other like that because they already know. Like, shoot, I don't want to be with you anyway. I already got somebody else.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's their relationship. It's weird because I don't know if you noticed when they were on the couch at one point, she had gotten close to him and her legs were like draped over his. So I was like, what part of the conversation was good enough that you went over there by him and threw your legs over him? Like I just feel like there was some of this conversation I was missing, but I wanted to understand what.
It was confusing to me.
Yeah,
Very.
very. Their whole thing, it just
Yeah.
it's confusing and it's aggravating to kind of watch because I'm like, y'all are supposed to love each other enough y'all wanted to get married, but y'all don't even act like y'all really like each other right now.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And I'm like, if the cheating was an issue, she should have told him don't even come. Like, don't leave New York, stay up there.
yeah.
But
But
it's like
instead
some
it's
sort of
like,
control thing.
yeah, but instead she was like, come, but then she wanted to act like she wasn't going to come to him. And then it's like, well, now I want you to leave. But then when he tries to leave, you don't let
Yeah. Like,
him.
come back here.
They weird.
Like, they both seem crazy to me.
Yeah, they're both toxic as ever. All right,
Hmm.
so that was this week's episode of Love. Is this one Love After Lockup? That's what this one is. They keep switching the names up on us. All right, and so yeah, that was a show. If you're in here, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, so you don't miss a show from us. And as always, thank you for watching, and until next time. Bye.
Hmm.